Welcome to the documentary series, Rivers of India. In this inaugural video, we begin with the archetype of all rivers, Ma Ganga or the Holy Ganges. Revered and worshipped by many, as its origin is considered to be from one of the most sacred places in India, the pristine, pure and spotless Uttarakhand Glacier. The Ganges forms an integral part of our ecosystem and holds the distinction of being holy and at the same time most polluted. In this video, we discuss some very interesting aspects of Ma Ganga and how we could all play a part in maintaining the sanctity of this river that has economic and social importance. Being India's third longest river in terms of kilometers covered, this 2,700 kilometer long river originates from a glacier which is considered to be the purest form of water. River Ganges originates from the Gangotri Glacier, flows south and east through the Gangetic plains of India and Bangladesh, and eventually ending her journey in the Bay of Bengal. The mighty Ganges upper face starts from a confluence of rivers called the Bhagirathi and Alaknanda in the town of Devaprayag in the Uttarakhand state of India. Although there are many small streams which comprise the headwaters of Ganges, the longest and important confluences like the Alaknanda, Dauli Ganga, Nandakini, Pindar, Mandakini and Bhagirathi are considered important and sacred. After a downhill journey of about 260 kilometers through the Himalayan valley, the Ganges emerges out of the mountain range at Rishikesh, debouches onto the Gangetic plains in the famous pilgrimage town of Haridwar. There are dams present in Haridwar which changes her course towards the state of Uttar Pradesh. The river, which was flowing southwest up till now, changes her course and drastically flows southeast through the plains of northern India. On her eastward journey, she meets the mighty Tamsa, Gomti, which is another river originating from the Himalayas, the Ghagra, the Son, and perhaps the most famous rivers of Nepal like the Gandaki and Kosi join her. At Bhagalpur, the Ganges makes a slight shift in direction, flowing south-southeast, and at Farakha, she branches away from her first distributary, the Bhagirathi Hooghly, which we all famously know as the Hooghly River. The Ganges originates from the Indian landmass and passes through Bangladesh and eventually ends her journey into the Bay of Bengal only there. After entering Bangladesh, the Ganges gets a new name as the Padma, where she meets the Jamuna River, which in turn is the largest distributary of the mighty Brahmaputra. As she moves down, she meets the Meghna River, and after that, she takes the name of Meghna as she enters the Meghna estuary, thereby ending her full journey from Gangotri into the ferocious Bay of Bengal. After entering the bay, Ma Ganga remains very relevant because she aids in the formation of the Bengal fan here, which is the largest submarine fan which accounts for a standalone 10 to 20% of the global burial of organic carbon. As far as the Ganges Delta region is concerned, it is a complex network of channels where many large rivers meet. In fact, the Ganges and Brahmaputra, both in the form of their distributaries, merge and then take their way towards the Bay of Bengal where they all end. But this existing channel that is now present wasn't the case before. Over time, the Ganges and the Delta have changed their respective surrounding areas, altering the network of channels in a significant way. Around the end of the 18th century, when the Great Teesta Flood happened during 1787, the lower Brahmaputra changed its course in a big way, thus altering the relationship with Ganges. It would be a pleasant surprise and of course an important fact to note that Teesta, which is now a big part of the Brahmaputra basin, was originally a part of the Ganga Padma river. The flood of 1787 ensured that Teesta underwent a sudden course change and a direction change which then made a new channel for itself before merging with the Brahmaputra. Now, for people who are not aware about what floods can do, this would be a classic example of the might of just one flood. To control riverine flooding happening on the banks of river Ganga as it moves into Bangladesh, a major barrage was opened at Farakka on the 21st of April 1975. One of the important tributaries, the Hooghly, which also is called Bhagirathi, continues to flow into West Bengal past Kolkata. We had a long impending dispute with Bangladesh on water sharing and management, which was primarily focused on this 42-kilometer long feeder canal at Farakka. During December 1996, when the Indo-Bangladesh Ganges Water Treaty was signed, some of the water sharing issues were addressed. The Tehri Dam was constructed on Bhagirathi, 1.5 kilometers downstream of Ganesh Prayag, in the point where Bilangana meets Bhagirathi. Since this dam was constructed in an earthquake-prone area, it raised some concerns, but it is important and strategic to have this dam, which serves as an important source of supplying water for irrigation purpose along with generation of 1000 megawatts of hydroelectricity. The Ganges basin with a fertile soil is the most important factor for agricultural economies of India and Bangladesh. Being a perennial river, it constantly supplies water for irrigation of crops like sugarcane, lentils, oilseeds, potatoes and wheat. With a flow, she creates these large areas of swamps and lakes which provide a rich fertile soil for growing legumes, chilies, mustards, sesame and jute. The Ganges also is a breeding ground for some of the best river fishes, though the water conditions remain polluted. Tourism and pilgrimage are also related activities along the banks of Ganges. With 3 prime pilgrimage sites on the banks, namely Haridwar, Prayag and Varanasi, it brings a lot of pilgrims year after year. And not only that, you will be surprised to note that river rafting during the summer season is a very popular adventure activity in the Ganges. Much like the rest of India, the monsoon does impact the Ganges Valley, but slightly delayed, somewhere around July. Humidity levels in the Ganges are not a joke as they don't settle even after a rainy day. Average rainfall would be a bit high on the eastern banks of the Ganges compared to the west, and the average rainfall in the valley is around 1020 millimeters annually, and around 75 to 80% of this happens during the monsoon season between July and September. And when you ask a common man when he would prefer to visit the Ganges, the immediate answer would be the post-monsoon season when the winter settles in. Flooding during the rainy season is quite common and will happen just like that within a few minutes. Spirals and extreme currents will give you an impression that you are in a different place altogether, while in reality you would be in the same place, and this would happen in a matter of just 10 minutes. Ganges is a gift more than anything else from nature to us. Her Holiness has come under tremendous questions due to the pollution along its banks and the change in the color of the river that evidently shows that it is no longer holy or pristine. The anthropogenic activity has led to the degradation of Ma Ganga, the mother who takes care of many cities and plains from its origin to end. Sewage from many cities, industrial waste, non-degradable plastic disposal are dumped into this beautiful river, which is something we should be very ashamed of. The problem is exacerbated by the fact that many poor people rely even today on the river for their daily chores. Ganges should be protected, and if not, there is a danger of her becoming the sewage river. If you Google sewage rivers in India, the first result would be Ganges. Gomukh and Ganges deserve much better than this, and it is completely upon us to preserve Her Holiness. With that thought, this is Ramachandran Ananthakrishnan signing off for MedConnect. If you like our video, please do share it with your friends and family. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't and hit the bell icon for instant notifications on more exciting contents coming your way. Thank you.